can train. You ain't fuck with a can train. You feels me. You feels me. We live, man. BSB. Hey man, that man gotta eat, don't mind me. But pull up. You're going straight in. Cootie.
Hey, peace. Can you hear me?
Hold on, Cootie. Hold on. See you right. Hold on a second, Cootie, yo. I ain't gonna make a mistake from last week. I ain't gonna do that. I learned to transition from this podcast from the show, right? Yo, Cootie, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good, bro. I can hear you great.
All right. Well, peace.
Peace, brother. How you doing tonight? How you
Doing
been?
good. I've been all right, just staying busy.
I mean, you're a busy person, so the fact that you take time out to vibe with me like this either way, I appreciate either way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's no problem. It's a pleasure.
So, Cootie, man, for all the work you've been putting out, I mean, it's a lot of places I can go because historically, you do genealogy. I look at you because I've met you and I've talked to you behind the scenes. You keep it real. That's my assessment, by the way. So salute to you, by the way. Thank you for being upfront the way how you do what you do for the community, for those that are going and looking into the genealogy and wanting the truth about who their people are historically fitting the picture. I think there's not a lot of people that do it the way you do it. But
Yeah.
not only do you deal in the history, but you dig and connect the dots of who your people might have been on a timeline, dealing with the historical references to who their family were in that timeline, dealing with genealogy. How you feel about that, guy?
Hey, you're right on point, man. You always come with the sources. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Type of stuff.
Right? You can hear everybody. Everybody good? Cool.
Yeah, I can hear him. Mac, I don't know if it's on my end, but you sound like you're breaking up a little bit sometimes. So, but I hear him good.
Oh, that's my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just wanted to add to what you
Okay.
were saying. I mean,
All right.
I appreciate you for not just listening to people, what they say and all that, but to because you verify info and you actually go above that and do your own research, and you actually come back with some jewels, to help me, to be like, oh yeah, so you just proved something I was studying, So, I appreciate you for that. So
It's a cultural exchange, man.
yeah.
It's a cultural exchange, bro. I'm an honest person. At one time, I used to be so caught up in trying to fit the ideologies of things. I've been there. I admit those things, especially when it comes to research. Not personally, but you know what I mean? Like, God, like, I mean, I've been through some school of thought.
Facts over feelings.
Yeah, facts over feelings. We had to get to that point because, especially from my background, and
You're breaking up right now a lot. I don't know if
not
that's
on. I'm working on it. I'm trying. Let me know. Testing 1 2. Can you hear me now? Just to make sure.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
we
Yeah, I can
clear.
hear you now. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I'm trying to be. I'm patient. I have time. And excuse me, I ain't gonna lie. I was running crazy today. I ain't get to eat, so I'm trying to get this out my way real quick too. So it might be the food, but overall though, I appreciate you tapping in, man. And I want you to let the people know that don't know who you are. Just a little background about yourself. You don't mind giving a little information out about what you do and how you doing it and how long you've been doing it. Just for those that don't know. I know you came in, just me and you know our conversation, how we talk. But I for those that don't know, you know what I mean? And we're gonna highlight some things because you got a web, you know, I mean, you got a YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I want to show that so people know how to follow you and subscribe to your information tonight. I mean, I'm honoring you at the same time of having this good conversation and getting into some things I want to ask you questions about. That you agreed to come on and just build with me on that vibe. So I appreciate you, dog. By the way, again,
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
but it's
So yeah, so basically about me, what I do. Well, honestly, I didn't know. I didn't plan ever to do what I'm doing now, but I just go with the flow, and trust in the
you're
Most
right,
High. And what I do, can tell people is that I've been researching and studying history since I was a kid, man. I was always into it. Ancient civilizations, history was my favorite subject. And add that with all the mysteries that they tell you about, all the conspiracies and all the hidden history, like that they don't tell us. So I combine all that, and I've kind of always been in you know, investigating things and researching things that led me to basically run into other channels, and learning from them and opening my eyes in different ways and orientating me correctly. Because when you go to mainstream, you could only go so far. Even when you go with all the doctrine, even that we've had before from all the so-called master teachers that are out there, for
right,
20, 30, 40 years, and when you go with that info, you're going to hit dead ends because they're still kind of going with the hijack a little bit, whether it's innocently or just on purpose, but whatever. Um, so when I was able to realize that there was other people that can prove what they were feeling, what they were thinking, things that they were like, we were never imagined because they didn't even want us to
right.
vibrate or even think in that kind of frequency or even be on that level of saying, were there, so-called Black Indians? Were there Black Europeans? Could America be the old world? Could ancient Egypt have been here? Things like that. You know, what is the Mississippi? How important is that? And they're never gonna tell us these things. So when as a child, you have an imagination, even as adults sometimes, and a lot of it is inner truth. You know what I mean? That we carry in our true wisdom. Through the real truth is inside all of us, honestly. So when we're learning something, we're
Real
kind
talk.
of we're kind of just remembering. We're just tapping in. So like realizing that my thoughts were truth, that I actually what I was thinking was actually true. I was seeing other people prove it. I thought, well, let me get a channel going because I'm good at video stuff and I like researching and reading books and I'm good at finding things and stuff. So I was like, just combine my two hobbies, and that's how I started my YouTube channel about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, basically.
I mean, you do genealogy for people as well, though. I don't think you highlight it as much as you should. You do a great job. I've been told. You know what I mean? You do a great job with genealogy.
Yeah, it's just something
How
I
did you
kind of
get into that? How did that happen with this?
yeah, never. I mean, never imagined. Genealogy is something they don't even want us to think about. Like genealogy, what does that mean? People assume that's DNA tests or whatever. And genealogy is your family tree, and I just happened to meet a great person who taught me. Shout out to Anu. The importance of genealogy and how what all the little tricks and everything, and just doing my own genealogy. I learned so much practicing with my own and family and I'm just honestly I'm very good at adapting a sin, and I just figure out how to use the software that they have. Ancestry.com, family search. How to give me the hints that I need. If it's out there or whatever. And I just started doing it. I actually just I don't promote as a genealogist really, because it just happened. I just offered people to help people, and I honestly just really help people. We're looking at every line. We're going as far as we can on any line, not just one. And it's been great because most of the stuff we're finding correlating with the research. So
Yeah, but I mean, if I ain't trying to cut nobody off, so you know how it goes. I'm trying to let you talk first, so I want this to come back and say, big shout out to our new breed. You know what I mean? Because you talking about a new breed, right? You
Yeah, a
just
new
mentioned
breed.
Anu, so right.
I knew Kiowa and Open Miha. I mean, those are the three guys I kind of learned most of the genealogy from. And then I just,
Yeah, shout
do
out
my
to
thing with it.
Opie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Opie, man. Shout out to Opie Mihai. If you
Yep.
watching Opie, big shout out, man. Genealogy wise, you know what I'm saying? That man is he the most humblest man
Yeah. Shout out to
with
Open.
the most craziest jewels when it comes to this. You know what I mean? Like he just go about it so smooth. I just want to let him know. You know what I mean? Shout out to Opie. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. So some people getting their feelings about. See, I asked you the first two questions first to give you some background. Then I went straight to the genealogy because I know you know about genealogy, and because I know you are very specific about videos, the information you drop with your YouTube channel. Matter of fact, can you pull up a YouTube channel so we give it a shout out? What you do on your YouTube channel is you caught my some years back. So I was like, damn, this man dropped like ain't nobody coming. I have to give you credit. Ain't nobody coming at it from that angle. You know what I'm saying? The way you have been dropping content in detail with resources for people to go back and do their research. By the way, shout out to my man Ra. My man Ra did a room this week called "We Don't Read," and "We Don't Read" was transitioning to how I think about how you have done that much reading along with genealogy to line up your stories and what you put out as content. And I want to salute you for that. I got some questions, but just for the people that don't know better than I do, but I have, I'm gonna reserve myself to first let you tell us what made you think about doing this in the first place on this level. Because, like you said, you didn't plan to be where you was at. This happened. So, how does work? How does come about? Well, all this content you got.
Yeah. Well, I get a lot of accumulation of information that I had over the years. And again, when I ran into, honestly, I'll tell you straight up, I ran into 432 The Drop Radio, YouTube channel. Shout out to Drop Nation and 432 Con Drop, because
Shout out, yeah.
yeah, I learned from him that to go with the flow, to go with my instincts, to go with my inner truth and go prove it, because the information's out there. And then hop onto the frequency. We're talking about surfing the wave. We really surfing, like we're literally surfing the wave, man. It's a big energy wave frequency, and if you catch that right wave, you're gonna be successful, because you can't get stuck in the times. We can't be stuck in 1993 Pan-African views, or whatever other doctrines are out there, because honestly, that's where we're stuck on right now. I mean, I haven't seen any of these people update their information at all. It's the same old information. It's just being repeated differently by different people. But watching his channel, how he was surfing the wave, and just like finding so much sources and drops on what he was saying. I binge watched him for about 2 years. Okay, I can hear you now, I
Can you hear
think.
me now, Cootie? All
Yeah.
right, we back. We back now. So I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry
basically,
about that.
I'll summarize. I was just basically saying, I ran into Drop, 42 the Drop Radio. I saw how he was doing his research, surfing the wave, hopping onto, the wave, because it's a wave right now. It's an energy, right? It's revealing. We're in the age of awareness right now. So you really got to surf it. If you get stuck in 1993 with Pan African and other doctrines, because that's really what I haven't seen their updated information really. It's the same old scholars, same old info. It's just a doctrine, honestly, and there's no sources behind it. Find out, when you go to the sources, it's just a bunch of people talking, and they don't have no sources. So we don't deal with that. We try to actually go with facts and historical things. We try to always add the oral history too. You got to listen to grandma too, to your family. You got to do your genealogy. That's why genealogy is so important. So when I was watching his channel, I was just seeing him prove so many things. I was like, wow, man. I just wanted to be able to like make sure that information was going to be spread, man. Like, because I just thought it was very important information that he was dropping, and it's just what it was doing to me personally. I just, it motivated me.
Yeah, you going in and out, but I know you in Costa Rica, so I know how that goes internationally speaking.
Nah, I
So
mean, I'm good. I'm good. It's
I
actually,
know.
it looks like
No,
you're dropping.
It's me, right?
I'm
Damn
connected
it.
to the
I can't
stream.
even.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know what to say. I can't even talk shit.
Hey. Now you
I'm
know what I
talking
go through.
shit. It
See,
ain't even
see
true.
what I
Hey,
no. Hey, I'm telling you, man. You know, hey, I'm
hey,
sorry,
I ain't
man. I
mad,
might have
brother.
brought him. I might
I
have
ain't
brought
mad.
him. I might have brought him here, man. Sorry, man.
hey,
Sorry.
Cootie, they been messing with you, huh? They been
Yeah,
messing with
always.
you.
Oh,
No,
every day.
hey, people that tell the truth get messed with though. That's just that come with the deal of telling the truth. So I ain't gonna be mad at it. And anybody that's listening and tapping in tonight, by the way, because I got Kurimeo on the line, you're gonna have to be patient with this conversation. That's all. I'm gonna
But
have my patience with this conversation. It's an honor for me to have you.
I,
As some people might not know, like literally where you tuning in from. You tuning in from Costa Rica. I ain't lying, right? Like you're not in the States. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
people need to understand that we doing a long distance international conversation for some people. For some people, but I appreciate the time either way. So I want to just tell you this though. You have a particular this is my segue from the technical difficulties. You have a particular couple of videos that you've dropped that caught my attention and made me be like, yo, the heat, the heat behind those videos made me be like, I don't know who this is before I met you. I don't know who it is, but I ain't never seen nobody give it to me like this. I ain't never seen nobody break it down the way you break it down, take the time with the sources. Like you're very detailed in your breakdowns. Am I lying, God?
Nah, bro.
I don't know what's going on. You want me to try to go straight to that? No, it's gonna be crazy for the show. I'm gonna try to just work through this for a second. Bring up the YouTube again, please. Bring up his page one more time. I want to go to a particular video, and I want to get straight to the questions to say, well, I got time for they fuck with us a little bit. I don't want to assume, but before anything fuck with us, I should say. Excuse my voice. The Sephardic Jews, the Protestants, there's certain videos you've done that talked about these group of people, the Moranos. You know, God, I'm gonna let you pick the video.
Hey, I mean,
There's so many, right? So many there. Let's go to the Swarthy Europe. It's Aboriginal inhabitants. Let's click on that one. No, you mess. You gonna make me pick another one. He got a lot. Go up a little bit. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go no. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. All right. So stop right there. This is more one of the newer ones, but it's still a good one. Sephardic crypto Moriscos in British colonial America. You see that one?
mhm.
Just highlight that real quick. Don't play the video though. Just click on it. All right. So the title in itself is a very detailed title. Can you give me some backdrop on what was the thought process on you putting out this information with the title you use?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know
So
about these titles, so I want you to break it down. I'm gonna give you a chance to break it down and do your
yeah,
thing. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, title I have to be very strategic. If I put something like if I put the word Jew, they're most likely gonna flag me. So instead of Jew, I'll use Sephardic. If I put more or like black or white, things like that. So I try to play their games. You know, I'm very good at it. So Sephardic, what we're talking about is the Jews that lived in the Iberian Peninsula in North Africa. A lot of them very Muslim, very Moorish connection there. Moriscos are basically Muslims who have converted over to Christianity. They were uh, called Morisco. A lot of them were just kind of faking it just to make sure to survive and be able to like live on and be prosperous. So they would be considered a crypto. A crypto means secret, or secret Jew or secret Muslim. These were the crypto, and the basically we were lied to about who really came in the initial colonial times. We were lied to big time. We're still trying to figure out where the pale skinned people mostly came, but in the beginning, from what we're learning and researching, it seems that the Europeans were actually so-called Negro, right? And a lot of them were Sephardic Moorish people. These are people of color. We're talking about big
Well,
names: George Washington, Paul Revere. We're talking about founding fathers. You know, Hamilton. It's a big flip on what they told us.
a very big flip, a very big flip, and that's why I appreciate your video so much, and the fact that I got you in this conversation right now because it's very detailed, and I can go into a lot of questions because how detailed you are, and a lot of people learn just off the fact that I don't think a lot of our people even know what Sephardic means. See what I'm saying? A
Yeah,
lot of people don't know. Just for the public, can you tell people what Sephardic means, please, sir? One more time.
I'm sorry.
Sephardic. Can you tell people what the word Sephardic means one more time? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So again, when we hear the word Jew, right? We're so used to imagining an Israeli, those or the Jewish people we see like in New York with the little curls coming down, and you know, I don't want to get you in trouble, but those people are kind of mostly Ukrainian, European, people, Khazars, converts into Judaism. They're the Khazars people, mostly Khazarian. And we're talking about Sephardic. We're talking about Jewish or Hebrewish people that lived in the Iberian Peninsula where the Moors were. They were there, with the Moors. These are the Jews that were, so they're not the same as Ashkenazi or Khazar Israeli Jews, you know. So that's the difference. Sephardic, they'll tell you it's people, basically a simple explanation. They'll say Spanish Jews, Spanish and Portuguese Jews, basically. That's what they'll tell
Now, on a timeline, some of these people they will call Sephardic. I'm using the same language as you. I'm gonna be hip to you real quick with that. I'm gonna follow that code. Sephardic people that came over to the Americas at a certain point and mixed into indigenous populations. I don't want to be specific about a particular tribe. Just overall, how do you feel about that situation? What's your thoughts on these Sephardic people that came to the Americas? Can I use the word colonized or can I use the word just immigrated into? How's that work?
you. Okay, I mean, I got most of it. You broke up a lot, but I think I got what you were trying to ask me. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what story you're trying to tell.
I'll say it again. I'll say it
Um,
again.
huh? It's because you're breaking up a lot. So,
Hold
but
on, wait. I'm gonna make sure. God, I no,
I got
no,
you
no,
though.
God, say it again for me, please.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All right. Okay.
They came in every form. Whether you want to see him as a pirate, as a conquistador, as a colonist, as a settler, as a slave, indentured servant, captains of ships, um, all kinds of things, man. So it depends on the story you want to tell. What I want to emphasize is that people are people. They've taught us to look at history as black and white, but all these things are being done by people of color a lot. Most of these things, especially when we come talking about shipping, merchandise, trade, commerce, business. They were called the port Jews. They controlled all the ports in the Atlantic. These are the Sephardic and Moorish people. This is a fact. Elizabeth was in alliance with them before King James. They went under
You said
Protestant.
Protestant. Keyword.
Hmm.
See, no, go back to the website. Pull that back up. I know we having issues sometimes, but I really want people to get this information, and I'm gonna take my time. I got little times. That's why I had to. I only did this tonight with Cootie, so I can go into detail with the technicals or not. We're gonna get into this. So, all right. So the word Morisco is my next word. See, I know every word I use with you has a storyline behind it. You know what I'm saying? When I have a conversation with you, you know what I mean? So I really want to ask you these things in that elementary level, not for myself, but for the people that's listening to our conversation, so they can all follow along with it on a certain level. Can you break down what Morisco means to you? And because just give me your analysis of this term Morisco is being used
Yeah. Okay. Well.
in this title as well.
Yeah. Well, Morisco again, it's mostly the like the general definition is a Muslim who converted to Christianity. Let me just read you to you what Wikipedia says, that they're basically Spanish for Moorish. That's what were former Muslims and their descendants whom the Roman Catholic Church and the Spanish crown commanded to convert to Christianity or compulsory exile after Spain outlawed the open practice of Islam by its sizable Muslim population. So a lot of them, again, because of course a lot of them would be faking their own, beliefs or their own, God, if they were to just say, "Oh, I'll be a Christian." So a lot of them did it secretly, and that's how they became crypto. They were labeled Moriscos. It's like a almost derogatory term. The Jews were called Marranos. The Muslims were called Moriscos. So when you hear Marranos and Moriscos, we're talking about almost kind of the same people, just their beliefs. One way more Jewish, another way more Muslim.
Bet money. So, Cootie, bro, that's why I talk to you like this, bro. I appreciate you for tapping in with me once again. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in, everybody in the chat. This conversation, people really need to hear it clearly because some people don't understand and might not ask the right questions. And I'm not blaming nobody that's never had this opportunity, but you put me in the opportunity to do it. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna take, I'm gonna make sure I keep it real and just give
yeah,
people. I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. I've talked to you. I know your intent. You only want to keep it real. That's how I feel about you. And that's why I genuinely want to have this conversation with you on a live and really get a chance for just to come across the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because I vibe you, by the way. So, can we pull up another one? Let's go to another title real quick because he got so much content, by the way, y'all. For anybody that's want to tap in, no, stay. Matter of fact, let me stop you. God, come back up. I like how I have to use this term for you, God. You hear me? Because I feel like I got God let me will the way. You feel me? Come back up. All right. Kurimeo Ahau. You know what I'm saying? This is his channel. Tap in. It's on YouTube. Tap in. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna go down. Am I all right? Go down, right? Tripping on this shit. All right, so now I'm gonna pick another one. The Untold all right, no. Untold Part 16. Untold Ancient American Truth. Can you go there for me, Doc? Don't play the video. Cause I got one I want to play. And I'm trying to save that one. You know what I'm saying? The clip that I want to play from that one. But this is my first time introduction. I want to make sure I get these titles and so, bruh, when it comes to the untold ancient American truth, can you give me your idea of why you titled this video this way, sir?
yes, yes. So basically, I have a series called Untold Ancient American Truth. This is part 16. The idea of this series is to basically talk about all the basically ancient history that was left out of the textbooks, mostly on a deeper level, where we're showing that when we're talking about a true old world or a beginning of a civilization or pyramid building, agriculture, math, science, everything. It really just all began here, and that's what this series is proven. In this particular video, we're talking the Calavera skull, but also many other bones and artifacts included in this video that they have found that were out of place objects, meaning they find these things in deposits that are supposed to be from the Pliocene time or even more back. Pliocene would be 2.5 to 5 million years ago. This is before volcanoes were erupting in California. They found stone tools, flints, all that, bones, in particular the Calavera skull, not the only one, but many other bones. This was all this. I only show primary sources in this. This is from the geologists writing all this, and then what they try to do is they try to debunk the people who already had declared it and written books about it, saying it was authentic, saying it was a fraud. You know, so we proved it wasn't. There is no. I mean, there has no. It's just websites saying it. It's not really. It's a lot of Christian groups. Basically, the whole thing is you can't go past 6,000 years when it comes to the Bible years and Christianity and all that. So yeah, they were attacked heavily. and these people were sponsored by Smithsonian. Particular one guy, Alex Hikla, who was the guy who started the Bering Strait theory. So they sent him to go debunk them and write something about them. But they didn't really. If you look into the books, they didn't really write anything. You can't be debunk. I mean, you can't take off that gravel. It's called euphorious gravel, which was stuck to the bone. And it's a fossil. You cannot fake a fossil. That's the thing. They didn't realize they were trying to call it a fraud. But science proved there was a fossil, so it's just like silly. But I show all the sources in this video, and yeah, man, they found the skull 2.5 to 5 million years old, according to their own carbon dating and science. So they got to explain this, and we had the books for it, and they never told us about it.
God damn. Y'all hear that shit? You heard what he said? Am I tripping? I mean, you said 2.5, Cootie, right? Cootie, you
Yeah,
said 2.5.
yeah, and I mean, I did also a video. I think it's part 14. Same series as the Guadalupe woman, Guadalupe. And that's some deposits that were 25 million years old. And so the British museum had it. It was displayed. They would display it as a anti. They were when they displayed it back in the 1920s, and between the 1900s and 1920s, they were displaying it as an antediluvian person, pre-flood. That's how they were displaying it. And then they put it in the basement, and it's there today in the basement. Like I show their sources. I show the primary times when they were studying it, all the scientists who declared the years and everything. And all this was swept under. They never told us none of this stuff. Instead, they got us looking at monkey bones in Africa. That's, you want to be real.
Hell, I'm listening. This shit crazy to me. I mean, I'm lying. I'm being sarcastic, y'all. I apologize, but I'm being real. Cootie, again, he detailed in the motherfucker. So I'm no, I cuss. I said that word the wrong way, but I'm just saying, like, he detailed like that. So I need y'all to catch up, make sure. I be trying to say these things like, did y'all see what he just said in detail? I mean, come on, let's keep it real now. I mean, something got to be accounted for because we've been told something different. I mean, I know we've been told something different out here. You know what I'm saying? So can we go back to the main screen real quick? God, you see how I like I do that? Abracadabra, bitch. Shit happens just like that. Act on
That's
God,
the
it shall be.
actual. That's the actual skull right there.
Which one?
Yeah, that's after they cleaned it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, what's the next video you would like to pick? Is there a video that you like a lot before I pick all of them tonight? You know what I'm saying? Is there anything that you would like
Well,
to?
one of my favorites is, like one of my favorites. We can go way back. That's like 3 or 4 years ago. It's the Black Panther Wakanda video. That's a great video.
Oh, okay.
Um, that's one of my favorites. It hits home, and just my series of from Indigenous American to African American. I mean, the whole series. I mean, it's a whole journey. Yeah, that one right there, Black Panther, Wakanda, America.
So, the Wakanda joint. Can we play it real quick? Let's play a little bit of it just so people can see before we talk about it. You say it's one of your favorite songs.
A black jaguar, Pantera onca, crouches in a pool of water in Brazil. Black jaguars are also called black panthers, which is an umbrella term for any big cat with a black coat.
Mm.
Jaguar. It says here the main focus of this entry will be the jaguar, but it should be noted that the black panther is actually the same species as the jaguar. Okay? Again, it should be noted that the black panther is actually the same species as the jaguar. The black coat is simply a color variation. African and American panthers have different black genes. In jaguars, the black coloration is a dominant gene.
It's
Again,
dominant.
in jaguars, the black coloration is a dominant gene. What does that mean, people? Meaning that only one copy of the allele is needed to express that color. However, in leopards, which are from Africa, right? Black coloration is a recessive gene.
Recessive.
All right, so a leopard would need to have two copies of the allele to be black. Molecular genetics and evolution of melanism in the cat family.
Mm-hmm.
And we have different people here involved. And the institutions: Laboratory of Genomic Diversity, National Institute of Health, Department of Biology, University of Maryland, College Park, Maryland, Nestle Purina Pet Care Company. And just briefly, just so you can see the scientific research behind this, for those who are interested. It says here the cat family Felidae exhibits a wide diversity of coat colors and patterns, including melanism in at least 11 species in different color phases and several others. For example, in the small neotropical jaguarundi, coloration varies from dark brown, gray, the most common form widely regarded as the wild type, to light reddish. Molecular genetic studies in mice have identified several genes involved in pigmentation phenotypes, for 5 in brackets, including loci involved in melanism, such as agouti acid, agouti signaling protein, and extension MC1R, melanocortin 1 receptor. Recessive variants of agouti cause melanism, which is also induced by dominant mutations in MC1R. Melanism in the domestic cat Felis cactus is inherited as a recessive trait. So melanism, the color black in the coat of a domestic cat is a recessive trait they inherit, suggesting agouti acid as a candidate gene, whereas a dominant inheritance pattern has been reported for melanism in the jaguar, Panthera onca. All right,
Mm.
so the, this gene that causes the melanism in big cats.
Yeah. So that's I want to explain that in case just to so the point of what I'm trying to show is that because first of all, I don't know how people feel about Wakanda and Africa and all that, but I just think it's very disrespectful that first of all, why do we assume Africa right away? Why do we assume leopards? Because a panther is a big cat. Any big cat is a panther. Any big cat. That's it's not even a real species. It's just panther means big cat.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good.
All right, bet. I had to switch up for a minute. I got blinked out. Everybody like, I can hear. It's on me. It's on me tonight, y'all. But either way, though, man. What I kind of missed some of it, but overall, what is your reason why again you picked
It's
this
basically
video as your
proven.
favorite?
It's well, not, well, this part in particular is proven that the jaguar came first because it's dominant. The gene is dominant and is recessive in the leopard. This originated here. In my Untold Ancient American series, I did a video on the ancient animals of America. Right, which ones were here, which ones went over to Africa, which ones over to Asia. We had camels, originated here, dogs, lions, mammals, cats, all that originated in America. Carnivores, so all that originated in North America. Actually, jaguars came from North America first. It was bigger. The jaguar, the Pantera onca,
Fact.
was originated in all the South of Georgia. That's even the football team Jaguars, right? Like anciently, that was filled with jaguars up in North America.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, yeah. So
Facts.
the point of
Facts.
this part was
Facts.
that I was just
Now,
proving. First of all, we're
yeah,
talking about Black Panther. Who we really talking about? First of all, we're talking about Jaguars. I wanted to get that out the way first, right away, and then I showed a lot more sources, and we basically prove Wakanda
right.
and Black Panther was stolen from the Mayas thing here, from all the southeastern tribes as well. Wakanda is a Native American word for the Almighty, for the Great Spirit, for supernatural, the Great Force, the mystery, the Great
Yeah,
Mystery. Wakanda. So what I'm saying earlier before you cut off is, I think it's very disrespectful for them to just go ahead and just
Wakanda
throw it over
forever.
throw it over there in Africa and just like forget about the whole culture. You're just like, so that was the point of this video, and it's a very good video. Like I go into so much into the Amazonian women. Um, I go into everything, man. Even the Black Panthers eventually towards the end. But yeah, it's a good video, so I recommend it.
You snapping. Cool, you snapping, re-earning it. So, I don't know. When he give me the kind of feedback, just fast into this show. You know what I'm saying? Could he get straight to the point though? That's why I like this man so much, y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, no real talk. So now real talk. When it gets to the situation of people thinking that everybody that is what we would call today black people that say that they are American Indian, how do you look at that? Being that you do genealogy. Shout out to, like you said, a new Opie who shows you that side. But how do you look at that? Because you keep it real. I want your real answer. Real answers.
So about people claiming one side only, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, one side only. Yeah, yeah, one side
Yeah,
only. Like, how do
yeah.
you
I don't.
look at
I would
in
say,
2021?
I would love to meet a person that can really prove that they're 100% something today in the world. So that's the first thing. And then using I'm gonna be real with you, because it became a thing. Using complexion, dark complexion, just to say, well, we're the ancient ones, so we're the first. So who's the we? Like, now you're everybody, because, well, everybody was colored, so were the Europeans. The Europeans were colored too. So I guess we came and colonized too, I guess, and we were the conquistadors. So I mean, you know,
But you see where the confusion is, though, because see, you can also, as you do in detail, understand what really took place and why these people are so confused that might have a dark melanated skin and go with this complexion of this Black Panther with the her term black, with the whole melanated feature being the dominant gene. But outside of that part, when it comes to people in this day and time, dealing with the people that changed the history to make us think that this person they were calling black as a general term came from only one place. It had no other places in history when it came to the Spanish, the German, the French, the European, or any of the colonies that we hear about in history. You think because of the history we were told on a elementary level, because now I look at it as elementary, even up to college, where they're giving you is elementary. When you know the details, like how you are breaking down details, like how you use the word Sephardic, and how you know there's a difference between Sephardic and Ashkenazi, just like I do, you are now getting complexual on a level where a lot of people might not go because they're
yeah,
not going to do the history study to
yep,
understand the split of things. See what I'm saying? You see where I'm
yeah,
going, right? Like
yep.
I'm just
Well, that's
keeping it real for those that don't
I
know, because there's a lot of people
yeah.
that might not ever heard what we talking about tonight. Just to keep it real, like
Yeah,
you know.
and that's the main reason
Go
why
ahead. Go ahead.
that's the main reason why I do my videos the way I do them, with sources and a specific video at a specific time. Even if I have the drop on something, I won't bring this out yet if people are not at the level where they're gonna understand me, because they're just gonna, I have to explain so many things before that, and that's what we've been doing. It's a journey, and as we speak right now, we're still learning a lot of new things, and that's what I'm saying. And people, like, the number one thing, I guess, the lesson from watching my videos is that we're constantly learning. There's so much that was hidden. There's so much lies, that is the rabbit hole so deep that, it's not one thing. It's many things. And we got to see how individually, as individuals, how do you relate to those things, not as a complexion, like you grouping yourself as complexion people, black people, you get what I'm saying, crayon colored people, right? But
Right.
at some point you were at war too. So when is it cool? When is it not cool? When are we family? When are we not family? When it's convenience, or when it's to go against other people that look different from us, or what is the point? Do you know your own genealogy? How do you know how much blood content you really got before you can judge somebody else based on appearance? This was done to you all your life. They told you you were African. They told you you were African. We cannot be the same way. We cannot be like how the people was doing, you know?
No, bro. What you said is a very. I know you ain't been in my room with me in the last week or so, And I swear to you, what you're saying right now is what we've been talking about in the last 48 hours about, am I lying, God? Like, just the whole, like, this whole, like, you gotta, like, you can't pick sides to battle with somebody when it's convenient. Okay, we all black, but now we ain't all black because now we all tribal and are we all tribal, but now, you know what I'm saying? Like, these ideology situations get us caught up because, again, the root that solves these things, those that really want to have a root solve, excuse me, solution, meaning solve the problem, you know what I mean, is going to do genealogy. And then when you realize your genealogy and that your melanation complexion of your skin, darker or lighter, however, you might recognize with, does not dictate an actual nationality or where you actually came from based off historical standards. So when we get to that understanding of things, we can now have a conversation, understanding each other from a being to being, human to human type kind of conversation, rather than it be an ideological situation that's coming about. Like, I'm trying to claim something that you can't even prove that you're fully 100% of that. Am I wrong? What I'm saying to you right now?
I understand you. Yeah, you know, I just sort of like,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I think that if people's right. We're
Okay,
going where
making sure. I'll make sure you
I,
heard
I
me. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like I'm also compassionate and I understand people and I understand that some info, some people, like you said, you got to be really care to really know about it. If you don't care, you're not really going to research that. If you assume that this dude is white, then you're never going to care. 'Cause that's not my relative because that's a white man. You get what I'm saying? So your grandma knows she was an African, right? She knows she was Indian. So of course, Indians, I'm Indian.
Right.
But we didn't know Europeans were black though. We're finding this out like deeply right now. Like I don't know if it's how many people out there doing it,
Wait,
but
stop.
this
Stop, Cody. Stop,
go ahead.
Cody. I apologize. I ain't trying to be rude, but I need you to say that again. A lot of people don't know that Europeans originally were swarthy. You said
Yeah,
black, but I'm gonna say swarthy.
yeah, yeah.
Swarthy. Swarthy.
Swarty, Swarty.
Yeah.
Yep,
Can we
yep,
can we can we pull up the term swarthy for me
yeah.
real quick? God. See, I call on God when I need answers. And shall it be? You know what I mean? BSB. Feel me? Real talk. No, no, real shit. Um, that's because this right here, what you said that, I want people to understand what we're talking about. I'm trying to make it like very simple, but at the same time, I know it's complex. But when you said
I,
black
I,
Europeans, generally speaking, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that there was like, come on, man, let's keep it
when we
real. A lot
first
of people do not know they are
when,
related to black Europeans.
well, honestly,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry. Go
I
ahead.
honestly feel like everybody knows. They just assume they were like, some way some white man was there or something. But they always heard they were a little bit Irish or a little bit Scottish or a little bit English or a little bit German, a little bit. Don't I no so far everybody I've met and they tell me, whether they want to admit it publicly or whatever, everybody tells me. Oh yeah, well we had these stories, and then guess what? Kurimeo, my mom had a whole family saving a lot of these family crests. She didn't know why her grandma had all these different family crests, right? Guess what? We found all of them in her genealogy. Her grandma knew too, but
Damn.
but why would you say I'm proud to be from a white man? I'd rather say I'm Indian more because I know I'm not African. You get what I'm saying? So
Damn.
I think if the history was a little different, I think we would have embraced both sides
Bars.
and we would have learned so much. Like it's so deep what they were doing over there. We're talking about a lot of them were royal, a lot of them were very pioneers in a lot of things. We had clans. These family crests mean something. That's a lot of years. You can't forget that culture. That's a lot of years
No.
to like just
You're
like
right. I feel the same way. You gonna
we
tell
say
me?
we say ancestors
I
every
agree.
day. We say ancestors, but we only looking at some of them, the ones we want to. We ignore all the rest. But I know
Right.
a lot of people don't know this, so I understand that. But there's people that do and choose to
No,
still
no.
not
This is what
want
it
to.
is. No, no. This is what it is. Unfortunately, me being I say unfortunate first, y'all that's listening, tapping in. You know what I mean? In our case, for those who have the darker complexion that have been discriminated against and kept from being able to know the variety of dark skinned people that come from these different nations of people because of a certain racist agenda that took place later on, which had nothing to do with our ancestors that were fighting against each other, that were different in nationality, that might have looked the same complexion. You know what I'm saying? Colonization happened amongst us, had nothing to do with color. Feel me? Colonization at first was about politics and land and resources and
Yep.
power.
Yep.
The whole thing we dealing with
People
nowadays,
being people.
dealing with
That's what I'm
this
saying.
white, right? No, no, exactly. I'm agreeing with you 100%. And that's why me understanding the transition that now we're all lumped together underneath these social construct names that they gave us through colonization. You know what I mean? And when I say colonization, I mean from the I can't even call it a European thing no more, right? Because we know that Europeans were dark skinned people. So if you're a dark skinned person yourself and you got a bloodline connection to any of these situations, that means that automatically you can't blame black folk for that situation that happened to Indian folk when they came over, right? Because when you find out that the 13 colonies had swarthy people involved, meaning black people. When you talk about Spain and you talk about the Sephardic Jews, excuse my friend, Sephardics, you told me earlier how to speak diplomacy tonight, but I messed up. The Sephardics and them being dark skinned people, the French and them being dark skinned people too. Like,
Huguenots.
how's that work with you? Huguenots. Oh, you said Huguenot. No, for those that never heard that term before, I know I said
It's Huguenot.
Huguenot.
My fault.
Hold up.
Huguenot.
No, pause, right? Pause. No, no, real shit though. Huguenots. The Huguenots is a real situation. How should we spell it? Can we pull that up for them too? 'Cause I don't want nobody to think we on some other shit. We ain't on the Lil Nas vibes over here. This ain't no Lil Nas X. I pause.
When the Muslim Moors were expelled from Spain, they a lot of them settled in southern France, the Moors, and they became known as the Huguenots. If you pulls up the etymology, you'll see it's more of a political term, not religious, and it means a coming together in a confederation. So people who organized, they came together
Wait.
with a
We got it right here. There
yeah,
it is, right there.
yeah,
Wait. Cootie. Is it there? You
yeah,
see it?
yeah. I see it.
Is that what you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh
I
no,
want to
no.
make sure the
I
people
was
see
just
we read like y'all
yeah,
can.
I was just like from what I could remember, but yeah, that's the one right there. Political, not a religious term. Yeah, Confederate. All right, to take an oath. So again, the Moor said, "Yo, we gotta be smart, man. Let's all right, let's play their game. We new Christians. All right, let's just call us we Protestant, we Protestants. All right, we're not gonna be Catholics though. We ain't down with that Catholic stuff because we Muslims and Hebrews, we don't worship idols. We go with the Quran and the Torah." Quran and Torah. Like we that's the whole thing. So when we're looking at history, like pirates going after Spanish ships, we're talking about Sephardic Jews, Protestants against Catholics. When we're talking about Spanish invading,
Facts.
somewhere and English leaving, because the English were Sephardic Jews, most of those. They were down with Elizabeth at that time. They were in England. Cromwell invited them over there. They were helping running the money. They were the metallurgists, working the metals, the smiths, the trade, the silks, the clothing, shipbuilding, the banks.
We're trying to be
Yeah,
as calm as possible through these airways. We know how that goes. You know what I mean? For everybody
yeah,
tapping in, thank y'all for being patient. Hold on, real cootie. Shout out to Media Lounge for letting us do this live on a live stream as well. You know what I'm saying? So all the people that's tapping in from our local area and around the world through their network, shout out to them. And we're here 8 to 11 each and every Sunday, vibing. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock. Blaze campaign mix. We go straight to our podcast show. We bring in special guests such as tonight, Kurimeo. So sorry about the breakup and all that happened. You know what I mean? We're trying to keep it up as much as possible through these airways. But at the same time, you were speaking about Huguenots. So can you Can you please keep doing your thing? Go ahead. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Mic
I
check.
can hear you. Yep. All
All
right.
right. Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
yeah,
All
when
right.
the Muslim Moors were expelled from Spain and Portugal, they ended up in southern France. A lot of them, they became known as the Huguenots, following a Calvinist, reformed, Christian reform kind of belief system. In order for them not to be called or considered Catholics, they can still practice their religion in crypto or in secret, crypto Muslims. So in turn, these are Moriscos, who were later called Huguenots, right? Instead of Moriscos, basically, because they were in southern France, so that region. A lot of them, some of them went to Germany. They became known, a lot of them as Palatines. A lot of them were even before that in France, and they were called. They went to England. They were called the Normans. So they have a lot of like, including the Moravians. The drop, but the Huguenots, yeah, they were very. They're in a lot of history, and when it comes to colonization, I find Huguenots almost every time I I do it. When I get far enough, I do a genealogy, at least one in somebody's line. Huguenots, the first people who actually were called refugees were the Huguenots. The term refugee was, out for the Huguenots. They were persecuted and they were refugees all over Europe for a long time. You know, the Calvin, where Calvinist comes from, he was a Sephardic Jew. I read that on the Sephardic Morisco, British Colonial America. We showed it. It goes back to Cohen, Calvin Cohen. It was anglicized, and he was a Sephardic Jew. And so these people, we start seeing a pattern, right? We start seeing a pattern of Sephardic Jews and Muslims behind all these people, Paul Revere, all these people. So we're like, wow, what's going on here? And it does look like a confederation. They weren't that though.
No, they weren't. No,
They
they weren't
took
at all.
they took an oath.
Man, see, so a lot of people, oh, man, I don't know. God, you heard what he just said? I mean, she, that's the word I'm going to use now. Shit. God damn. I'm trying to say what I'm going to say. Like, he hit me with one right there. Boom. Hey, I'm trying to absorb that real quick. Hold on. No, for real, because, man, you were detailed real quick. You hit him real quick. The combo was serious. The combo of that was serious right there. Like, they're gonna have to go back and recapture what it just like, because I'm still trying to catch it. I'm here live with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bang. Hold on, wait a second. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, basically Moors. I mean,
Say it right. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's the KO. So, how do you feel about this term more? I got some questions. This is since you brought up the term more, how it came out just now. How do you feel about this term more with the people who in America call themselves Moors and Moorish Americans? How do you feel about this? Can you give me your way in on that, please, sir?
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I did a whole series on what I thought about that term, and what I was learning from them, from their own, what they would say. And so I verified and fact checked a lot of what stuff they were saying. So I went to their main source, which is, if correct me if I'm wrong, Noble Drew Ali. Is that right or
Yeah.
is that wrong? Okay. Yes
Well,
or
well, well, I'll be real with you. Just make sure we're clear. Are we talking about like the Moorish Foundation in America, started like as a religious
well, that's
organization
what I'm saying.
with him?
That's and you just brought up the point I was getting to.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you
So
go
what
ahead.
is a more? You tell me what it's a more then.
Well,
You
I
could not,
mean,
because now you just proved there's a difference, right? That's two examples.
well, of course, it's the two examples because in
No, I
1899,
mean that's just two examples. I'm saying we're talking about two examples so far. All right,
right?
because I know more. I can find about 30 definitions for more that has nothing to do with complexion.
Yes, and we know this. Go, keep going. I'm gonna try. Go ahead,
Okay,
Rod. Yeah,
and if a group of people who are kind of always looking the same complexion are the ones in the ships, the ones in the captains, the ones with all this knowledge that we know, because these were the people in the trade, and that's why they were calling them port Jews, port Muslims. We know those people of color mooring ships. Eventually, it
facts.
became a term applied to people of color in certain parts of Europe. Before that, it was applied to the Berbers of North Africa.
North Africa. by the
So
way.
that's what
Don't
I'm
say the
saying.
same.
So I try to go things historically and what the etymology, and I chase things. So you got to be able to like tell me then what it means, because now you go telling me, Matt, you go telling me to go here, then you tell me to go over there, then you tell me it means this, then you tell me it doesn't mean this, then you tell me it does mean this again.
Right. Correct. You're right.
So is Drew Ali not a source
I mean,
then?
I ain't got nothing to say about that. Yes, he is. I mean, he's a source, but
So
he's not the first.
okay,
You got
so
Dusali.
I don't know if
You
you
got
have you ever read
Dusali.
have you ever read the Circle 7 Quran?
Yes, I have.
Okay. If you look at the Circle 7, this is just from me just opening, and reading it myself. Is Jesus all up in there? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then does
Is
he not specify who the ancient Moors are in this Circle 7 Quran?
yes.
He tells you specifically, and he tells you what happened to them and who did it. So if that's your source and that's your main teacher, I'm gonna
Yes.
go with him. I'm gonna believe him. I actually, what he's saying correlates with my research. But you're
Word.
telling me
Wait, wait,
something
wait,
else.
Cootie. Hold on, Cootie.
80 years
Wait,
later, you're
Cootie.
telling me something else that he said. He didn't say that. He said
Wait,
the
Cootie. Hold
ancient
on. We're
Moors.
gonna interview with Matt tonight because they got issues among themselves right now. So I'm not trying to correlate none of this. We're dealing with nothing but history tonight. So from a historical standpoint, you're making a lot of good points, by the way. And I respect Moors who stick to what the prophet said, especially if your genealogy fits
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You dig? You see what I'm going?
yeah,
For clarity, this is not no conversation where we're trying to that, but we want the truth, and the truth has to be said in the way you just said it, which is the truth. Because some people need to understand on their genealogy that your ancestors did come from North Africa. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, I'm not gonna knock
yep.
it, but
Hmm.
not all. Not all. We know that too. So that's why the clarity needs to be said and made. That's why genealogy, as you know, and I think you've already said earlier tonight that that's very important to this whole story of our people individually knowing who we are, even if we might call ourselves, even if you're black or white in today's standards type of thinking, right? Am I right? Because this has nothing to do
Yep.
with color when it comes to
Yep.
a nation of people.
Hmm.
We on the same page, right? When it comes to that?
Yeah.
All right, bet money. So these Moors that follow Noble Drew Ali, how do you look at their dynamic connection to the Sephardic Jews? You know what I'm saying? To the Sephardic Jews.
A lot of the Sephardic Jews converted to, they were Muslims. They converted to Judaism. So there's a lot of them are the same people. They helped the Muslims. If you know the history, they were the ones who helped the Muslims help take over, Iberia,
Mm,
from the people who had them on the oppression. There, the Jews, they couldn't practice their thing or anything, so they helped the Muslims while they were there. Those 800 years, the Jews were very prosperous. They had titles and everything. Nazi was one of them. Nazi was prince, a Sephardic prince of the Muslim. They helped them run the commerce, the business. They were very prosperous. These were they a lot of the times married into each other. And again, we know from history there was a large conversion of Muslim people into Judaism. These people became Sephardic. Now, not all of them. That's not all the case, but that was a major case. All right. So what I'm trying to say is there's a strong relation between the Muslims and Sephardic Jews.
mm. Man, listen, Cody, I appreciate this right here. Y'all got that? I mean, because I heard that clear. I mean, genealogy is a key part to understand what he's saying, though, too, at the same time. So if you relating to that part of it, you understanding these things you're finding. So now let me ask you this next question. How do you look at the fact that a lot of people that are dark skinned like myself on the screen right now have a bloodline connection to the American Indian, indigenous people of this land, nations of people in this land? How do you go with that and correlate that real quick?
Yeah, well, we just go to the primary sources of the time. We know what they were, how they were describing the indigenous people of America. We go to, definitely with the oral history. We go with genealogy. All that, like the records are there. Um, if we just go with beliefs, I mean, show me one African slave ship. Just I mean, just one. Like, and then you find one person, and then you tell me it's millions. So where's the rest of the 999,000? Whatever.
Ah man, when you say that, like, look. See, I don't these pan African situations that be going on, and I see these things be happening. I'm not knocking those. By the way, of the African, we play Afro beats. We have to play Afro beat right after this podcast to let the all our
I,
Afro
I,
people
I,
that we ain't got no. No, I'm just
I
talking
just
shit. Don't take that
I
shit
just
personal.
I just I just want to add to, and a lot of people have a trouble when I
No,
say
it's the
that.
truth. It's the
I just want to add that a lot of people controversially when I say this, but America this is literally the true old world, whether it was connected to what they were calling Atlantis or Lemuria, but this was the epicenter. This was one of those lands that whether most of it got sunk or this is what was left, this was an epicenter. This was a true old world. And we had every phenotype here. We had every hair type and every shade of copper. We are from the lightest copper to the darkest copper. That's the 1828 Webster's Dictionary, the copper colored tribes of America. We can't front like copper's one color or one shade. People want to just do that. You know what I mean? But it's okay. History is gonna explain everything. Time will tell everything. I'm certain of that.
that's real, man. See, I like how you said that. So, from a person with that, you know what I mean? Shit, god damn. See, let me come back right. Let me come back right. Hold on. Let me a second now. Let me ponder what you just said. I'm gonna let that marinate because you said copper, a light to the darkest shade, and all phenotypes. Your epicenter. Key words are being used in what you just said. He said epicenter. All right. You gotta think about this now.
We
All
had
right.
many. We had the
Many.
mound building times. Then we had the Olmec and the Maya times. We had the Caral Supe even before them in Peru. Then Cusco after that. Literally, Cusco means navel of the world, the center of the world.
Now I'm gonna tell you something because I can't go all the way deep because I like to do my build with my team. Shout out to the clubhouse, Thomas
Yeah.
Party Vibe every day. You know how we like to break down things we watch and really try to get to
Hmm.
the research of the origins and find them things. You know what I'm saying? We try to dig it up. You know what I mean? Go dig that mound, by the way. You know what I mean? So when it comes to what I found out recently, Kurt, I just want to ask you this because this off topic a little bit. From the Peru part you just actually named with dealing with Cusco, which does mean the meaning what you just said it means, dealing with the navel of the world. But have you ever heard of the concept that Jerusalem was in Moscow? Just
Yes.
all right, what you know about that real quick? I'm sorry,
That
this
well,
it
that's
hit me in the
from
head. I just want to ask you, what you think? What you know about
the person I know that the only person I know that kind of was doing saying this was Anatoly Fomenko.
that? Okay.
Anatoly Fomenko. He's what do you call a new chronologist, and he actually broke down how they faked the chronology. And there's like three different ones that were the same one, and they pushed all our people back in BC times, made us think that things happened so long ago, so it would disconnect us from events that might have happened much recently. And this is what we're finding out today. That's what we're saying. And what I think about it is he has his he didn't you
No, go ahead,
I
go ahead,
think
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I just it's a lot of hope. I feel like he had a lot of hope. He had some good correlation, but he didn't have much that he had like one verse of the Bible. Like he used one verse from the Bible to try to say, and then and only reason the only one that he actually was confirming that made it in Moscow was that he saw snow. Basically, he was using snow as the proof. That's his main thing. He Bible
So
verse that he
how
pictured.
you so
I mean,
I
it
want to
snows in Peru. It snows everywhere. It snows in the Americas. It snows in Utah. It's Judah. It snows.
got you. I got you. I only wanted to ask you that because it's something that came across, and I was like, yo, like
Because I
I
literally,
gotta ask you that
thanks
question
and
because I know
thanks
you.
to drop,
I was like,
thanks to
go
drop.
ahead.
I literally watched Anatomy Flamenco to see what the correlation was, and that was his main correlation, the snow part. I swear, go look at it.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said that because see, I was looking at him like this right here though. It just throws a whole nother paradigm switch on me because first you're dealing with they saying that Jerusalem is supposed to be in the
But they
Middle
were
East,
well, they were
and
there.
now
That was the kingdom was huge. When we talking about worldwide, we're talking about world king. Yeah,
right,
they had a part there. Moscow, Meshech. Moscow is almost a way of saying
Meshach.
Moses. Yeah,
I'll wait for you to go there. I'll wait for you to go there. See, I knew. I see. Hey, Cootie, I watch your shit now. I knew you was gonna say that to me. See, so the Moscow Meshach part. Can you break that down? How's the
it
correlation
was
with that? How did you come
Masaka.
about with that correlation?
From how it was described in ancient times before it was called Moscow, and how it became Moscow. And you look at all writings like Josephus and all the contemporary writings of that time. Masaka, Masaka was one of the main words. Moshika, Meshika, right? And then, and then, and then you got the Meshika over here. So it's like a strong
Mm,
correlation. Um, I believe, and
mm,
I'm going outside of sources right here, but
right. Go ahead.
I know it's gonna be proven, and it's
Okay.
just I believe, and I believe strongly believe that we were more connected to Asia. There was more land. It wasn't just the barren strait. What they're saying, like California went right into Asia. There was more land. So when we talking about the farthest east in ancient times, we was always talking about America. They went to the farthest east. Camels originated in America. You can look that up right now and Google it, and they're gonna tell you they went from America to Asia, then to Africa. So how?
Shit.
So now you tell me that's a reverse. That's not an out of Africa theory. So how is an animal? So people couldn't do that too. So there was a lot of land, I believe, and so
Hey,
we're
bro.
talking about
I ain't got nothing to say to you
we're
about
talking
that
about
right there.
kingdoms that might be more. It's like going maybe from Boston to California. A connected land
Right, right, right.
instead of thinking an ocean
I,
away.
I understand that too, and I agree. I think America's the old world. I stand on that bit right now in my studies of where I'm at. So I can't disagree with you on that part. I think that things will definitely
Why haven't they
reverse
found where Marco
around.
Polo
Some
went?
people gonna say, Mac, I mean, me too. Why haven't they found where Marco Polo went? Con. You know what I'm saying? Why haven't that happened? Um, and I only got like 12 minutes left before I gotta go back into the mix and get out of here tonight. So I want to really let you know. First off, I thank you for coming. And second, though, when it comes to now this old American theory, you said Cusco being the navel of the world. That is right. Cusco does mean in the navel of the world. But when it comes to the languages that you find that the people that say the Mayan, the Aztec, the Taino, the Arawak, all that, right? All these languages that in all the indigenous nations of North America spoke, how do you correlate the Hebrew that's describing that this is the old world? How do you correlate that part? Can you give me that, or just give me your perspective? I'm not asking you to give me a factual thing. Just why do you think the correlation is going there from that perspective, if you don't mind?
Okay, well, it's more than think is thought all my life because I felt sign about me myself, but now I know because I was able to like go into the primary sources. First of all, so I have a whole Hebrew Aboriginal American series. I'm like I'm part
Okay,
11 or
right.
12,
I
and
know you do.
and
I know you
and
know you will. Go
I
ahead.
show primary, firsthand accounts of what the Sephardic Jews themselves, who are supposed to be Jewish, right, the Hebrews,
Mm-hmm.
and Moorish people, Muslims, writing in their books saying, I think we found the lost tribes. All their ceremonies resemble what is written in the Torah. They do this, they do that, they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that. So I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. Those are Pan Africans. Sorry to say.
wait, wait.
Hebrew's
Wait.
not.
No. Wait. I like what you said though. I like how you said it. Wait, for the record, I agree. But go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
following
So
you. I see
so
where you're going
so
now. You said that.
the the
You
thing
know, say,
is,
all right.
we're so quick to say, oh, we think first we start the white man came with a Bible, right? We you are the book, right? The Popol Vuh got plagiarized when we talk about Genesis creation, right? When we're talking about our oral histories over here, they got plagiarized, just like Wakanda. It's the same thing. So we're not talking about religion when we're talking about Hebrews. We're just using it as reference because what else are we use it because that's what people know these people in the Bible as. But Hebrew has an etymology. One from the other side, he who travels, he who crosses the river, beyond the Euphrates, the people on the other side, or the migrant, the people on the move, right? And Eber was the one who didn't supposedly, want to build the Tower of Babel, and he took his family away, and that's why supposedly his language wasn't confounded. So that's why it became a language. But with Paleo Hebrew and all that, and when we're talking about Indians having similar Hebrew words, and people coming from Europe and talking Hebrew and Chaldean and all that with them, they brought Hebrew interpreters with them. These were Sephardic Jews. Why were they communicating with them right away? Where did they get their language really from? And when we
Good
look at the
point.
monoglyphs and we break down we how the glyphs became vowels, like we showed this, like phonetics, and then we got Phoenicians bringing this what they learned to the rest of the world, getting the credit for being the first to teach language and bringing writing and all that, and supposedly the oldest script. But we find the same script here in Los Lunas, New Mexico. We find it in the mound builders. We find it all over. Even before that, we got pre-Paleo Hebrew because that's there was a pre-pictograph. We're talking about pictograph, and we can see these in the caves and the paintings in the walls.
That's real. That's real. I like your
So
honesty.
again, and the
I
other
get
thing I want
better.
to add is, so
I like your
just like in
honesty.
the Bible,
I,
and
I,
what I want to add, and
I
this
get
this
it.
brings us back to Drew Ali, right? Drew Ali was very specific. Now I'm glad you asked me that.
Right.
So he said the ancient Moors are the ancient Moabites, Canaanites, who were expelled from Canaan, the land of Canaan, by the robber Jehoshua, Joshua. So why is
Mm-hmm.
Drew Ali saying this? I want to ask a more. Can they straight up answer me when I say why is he saying who's Joshua's people then? Who's Joshua's people then? The robber, the so-called robber, and why did he kick you guys out? And then you had to get permission from the pharaoh
Great
to
question.
settle in Morocco, Tripoli, and Algeria. That's from Drew Ali's words in the Circle 7 Quran. Who's Joshua's people?
Hmm.
Who's Quetzalcoatl? I'm gonna leave it like that since you only have a couple minutes. Who's Quetzalcoatl? Who's Joshua?
Who was the code? Who was the code? Who just?
Who's Quetzalcoatl?
All right, let me stop right there. I, hey, part two. I gotta bring that back. I ain't got that much time, so I'm gonna bring that one back because I can go some other places with you tonight. But I just want to introduce you to the world. You know what I'm saying? Tapping in. Some people already know you. That's tapping in. And like I said, shout out to the chat. Everybody's in the chat is vibing tonight, and seeing what's going on. It's great cultural exchange we're having right now. You know what I'm saying? It's great cultural exchange taking place. And bro. Like, I'm gonna bring you back if you get a chance. If you let me get a chance in your busy schedule, but let's let people know what
Yeah.
you got
Nope.
going on real quick. Back
Well,
into the
actually,
mix.
oh, my phone.
What so go
Oh,
ahead.
no,
Hold.
no.
I'll give
Well,
you
yeah, just check out
5 minutes.
my
Just tell the people
channel.
what you got going on real quick before we get out of here.
Okay. Well, no, real quick, just if you're interested in seeing the proof of what we're saying, what we're talking about today, because I don't like going on panels just talking. I like showing sources. I don't do that 5 hour talking like other channels and just talking and talking and saying I'm the Indian. Never no sources. So go see the information. Go see how it relates to you personally. Stop believing everybody. Verify the info. Verify me. Right. So check out my Instagram. I got some great colorized pictures there too. If you want to support me, I got a Patreon by the same name, Kurimeo. So patreon.com/Kurimeo. I'm going live, I think, because it's still early enough for me. It's only 8:30 for me, where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna go live right after this. So if anybody's interested, I'm
That's
gonna
what's
have
up.
some great information. We're gonna continue reading from that book, Jews and Muslims of British Colonial America, and I got some really good info, correlation. So you guys, can check it out if you're interested after this.
Definitely. Anybody. Again, you see, this gave you the link. We live right now. You know what it is. He tapped in with us. And again, it's a pleasure for you to come in and tap in with us and follow the link. Subscribe. Not subscribe. Kurimeo. It's spelled Kurimeo. Tonight is our special guest. Again, follow this and subscribe to his YouTube channel. We say he's gonna be live right after this. Some more information. That's what he does, and it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Again, thank you for tapping in, brother. And holla at me, man. I want to do a part 2 with this one because I got some more questions going into what you just said with the whole Joshua, Quetzalcoatl thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Yeah.
to Shoto.
Shout out to Drop
Shoto.
Nation.
No, shout out to Drop Nation, man. For real. Shout out to Thai Battle. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Thomas Party, Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us at definitely on Clubhouse. We interact every day with our people that come in and tap in with us and have conversations on these topics we have right now. At the same time, though, that's how I make Mayo to be able to do this right now too. So shout out to my man Quest. Shout out to Quest tonight. That's actually how I got plugged into Cootie Mayo. So I gotta plug him off top. And Cootie Mayo, man, it's a good vibe I have with you, dog. We're gonna talk more, bro. Most definitely. You know what I mean? We shall talk again.
Yeah, definitely. Like link up, we link up, and I'll come back as many times as you want me to. No worries.
Appreciate the love, man. We're gonna get out of here for the night, man, y'all. We'll back into this mix.
All right. So pura
Keep
vida.
it
Thanks for
blaze, man.
having me,
Go
man. It
back
was a pleasure.
after party mix. We're gonna get out of here. So much. The link one more time. Anybody that wants to follow you right after for the content that you about to keep going with. One more time. What's the content you about to drop? Like, what's the link one more time?
Oh,
Your
it's on my
YouTube, right?
yeah, my YouTube channel. I'm
Your
probably gonna go
YouTube,
live. Yeah,
right? So,
about yeah,
what? How like 15 minutes, 10 minutes?
yeah, 15, 20. It takes me a little bit to set up and get ready, but yeah,
All right, bet. So, like, let's say by 11 o'clock, definitely, y'all can check him out.
maximum 30 minutes. Yeah.
He'll be live, you know what I'm saying, on his channel, you know what I'm saying, vibing, tap in with him. At the end of the day, we out of here though. We're going to our campaign mix after party vibe, and we'll be back next week, 8 to 11,
Yeah,
Thomas Party Music Media Lounge.
that was
Thank
a
you,
good
Cootie.
mix. I was jamming when before.
Appreciate it, man. We gonna get out of here with the same mix, bro. So tap in with us, man. Thank you, bro.
All right,
Have a good night.
you too, man. Thanks.
Appreciate you. Nothing but love, brother. Nothing but love. Thomas Party. That's how we do it, though. Each and every Sunday, 8 to 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? That was a great vibe, bro. Man, Cootie, man. Woo, number 5. Cootie dropped number 5, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm talking to that man. He just genuinely is gonna come from what he sees, what it is. He gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? No biasness. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit. I don't get it. Something about that. Either way, though, we gonna go back into the mix. I see y'all next week. Sunday, next week we'll have a panel, and I got some people. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to. It's gonna be kind of busy if I can get everything what I plan to happen next week to happen. It's gonna be a busy situation, but at the same time, we're gonna talk about some things that I kind of want to give some time to build on real quick. You feel me? And, let people marinate on it. I'm gonna go back to my team. We're gonna sit back and we're gonna build on some things before we come back and present it how we want to present it to y'all. But I want you to think about some of the things you heard tonight. You can tap into www.theautonomousparty.com. You know what I'm saying? And we do the social club. Membership is available. Try to tap in, obviously, as we get ready for the fall, because it's when we officially gonna say we're gonna really get ready to start doing the social club experience on the level we're getting ready to do it on. And shout out to everybody that's supporting it right now in our development of it. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But right now, through the campaign, BSB, in this podcast show, which is branded after our social club. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the conversations that we want to have autonomously with the people that's dropping content and doing things in the communities that they're in. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that's shot out all the time, as well as Music Media Lounge. This is why we chose them, to be autonomous in what they do. Feel me? So this is what we do. This is how we move. 954, Broward County. Don't forget out of here. I got shot you out Miami, West Palm. You know what it is. We out of here. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.